There they are, 18 packages out the door. Feel like I'm on the run all day, every day. I need to slow down one of these days, take a break. I think it's coming soon. Soon to a theater near you. Today on The Crazy Picker Life with Wheeler, Dealer, and Banana Peeler. Welcome, fellow pickers and would-be adventurers. Dealer here, Thursday edition of The Crazy Picker Life midday special. Well, I feel like I'm losing a little wind on the vlog and losing the ability to add value to your day. And so today I've got sort of a wrap up a few loose ends video here, and then I think I'm going to take a break of making videos. I may tune in next week. However, next week's a short week and we're going to be on the road. Wheeler and myself and Banana Peeler are going to be on the road in Nebraska for the junk jaunt. So, you know, it's just not going to be a great video week. So I got to stay on track here. I'm trying to watch my traffic too. So I got a couple of things. Global shipping I want to talk about for a minute. I want to talk about my trees for a minute. And what else? There's one other thing. Oh, momentum. Our momentum contest, our in-house momentum contest ends next week. In fact, next Tuesday is the last day of our give or take 90 days of listing. So let me start with the trees. That way I can do the other topics when I'm in my office. So I got a couple questions. I've shown the boys and I working on some trees in our lot, on our lot. We have a double lot. We probably have 20 trees. For the most part, I'm not much into landscaping. For the most part, my yard is what I would call a relaxed yard, kind of like my face, my beard, my hair, whatever, my look. I'm not a yard farmer. However, a bunch of the trees that are on our lot probably are approaching 90 years old, along with the house, and we're getting several of those removed this fall because they're half dead and they're always shedding limbs, and they're over the garage and they're over the house, and it's become sort of a dangerous deal. We're also going to have the guy professionally come in and trim up some of the other trees that I think will look a lot better when they do that. We've been deciding on how much time or energy to put into our house, and this is overdue. So the bottom line with why am I cutting down 2 trees, and somebody thought I was cutting down all my trees. I don't know, I got plenty of trees. Some of the ones that we're cutting down are either in the way to getting to these big ones, so we're able to do a couple small ones, and when the professionals come in to do the big ones, these will be out of the way. They can drive their bucket truck back in there. And okay, did we avoid the rain? We did. We barely made it. We had to get in there. So those 2 trees had to come out to get to the other ones. One, the smaller tree, the first one we did, was sort of an offshoot tree. Nobody had ever planted it. It just was there. And so it was non-essential. And the other one was a combination of the neighbor boys beating the bark off of it and breaking the branches off of it. And it was in the way and on its way out anyway. So that's what you got to do sometime if you're not a homeowner, or you are a homeowner, or whatever. So the other question people had is, you know, why don't you use a chainsaw? Why don't you use your Jeep to pull out that stump? Why, you know, why are you digging a hole? Why are you using an axe? Well, you know, because I can do whatever I want. How about that? You know, it's my frickin' house, it's my frickin' lawn. I'll do whatever I want. But the real answer is I'm teaching my kids to use hand tools like axes and shovels and hard work. And we're not professionals. I've used a chainsaw. I don't own one right now. If I need something like that done, I get the professionals out. I don't waste my time. I have a couple hedge trimmers and a jaw saw that can take, you know, small branches off, and I have some hand saws. We could cut bigger things if we wanted to, but hey, I'm trying to teach my kids from the basics. There's nothing like cutting a tree down with an axe. You know what? They want to dig some more. They want to cut some more. They like it. How about that for a good answer? They like it. They don't need no chainsaw. So we certainly do some things differently. Thanks for asking. All right, so let's talk about momentum for a minute, and then I'll end up with some global shipping thoughts and how that's working out. So our momentum contest, for those of you that have been hanging with us, know we've been listing pretty much, I believe it was part of June, July, August, and now September. We had an in-house contest where we wanted to reach $200,000 of newly listed items that are in our back stock. We wanted to list 4,000 items, and it was a combination of Wheeler and myself and the rest of my crew. We were trying to do that by next Tuesday. So we fell short, and we're not done with the contest yet, but we're gonna fall short by a bit. I think some guys are working out in the rain here. They're doing some sort of lawn work, trying to get their grass in, but it's too late. We have a downpour. They look kind of funny out there. Around here it doesn't rain too often, and so nobody plans for the rain. They just go like crazy until it rains, and then sometimes they get caught in the rain, and whatever, everybody gets caught in the rain. So the momentum contest, probably not next week because it ends next week. The week after, I will do a show and I will talk about the statistics of what we normally list in a given month. I will estimate that. I will talk about what we listed, how much, and all that during momentum. I will talk about if we gained momentum in our business. I'll talk about the length of the contest and how that affected everything. The number one thing that I wanted to mention today before I do that show in a week or so is when you, let's say you're buying a 1970s car, muscle car, sports car, you know, redneck pickup truck with a V8, whatever, diesel, whatever. If you're buying an old car and you go out and take a road test in it, and you brake a little bit harder than you normally would, and you corner a little bit, and you floor it a little bit, and you go 80 miles an hour, all those things, when you take that car through its paces, or truck through its paces, it will show you the defects. It will show you if that person was honest with you when they told you about the vehicle, or if it looks really nice. The mechanicals won't lie. You'll be able to tell some things by taking a test drive, by pressing the pace with that vehicle. So I gotta do this on the fly. Got too much going on today. So momentum is a little bit like taking a 1970s vehicle, which is our business because it's work from home, home business, a couple of people wearing multiple hats, running a global shipping empire from our house here. It's mom and pop, it's father and son and daughter and son and wife. So the point is, when we did this momentum, it was going to show all the defects in our business. It was going to show some things in my game that need to be changed and improved if we actually pressed the gas to the pedal, which we certainly did for a while. And we ran out of some gas. We found some leaks in the tub, some leaks in the boat. Fire all your cannons, we're out of ammo, whatever. Wheeler's game, we exposed some things in Wheeler's game. So the bottom line is, if you put your business on a serious, all guns a-blazing pace for a while, you will discover some things about yourself and about the people you're working with and about your business and your systems and your ability to work time and a half, whatever. That's what we did. And so I will report on that, not next week most likely, but the week after. I guess that's the first week in October. And I don't know if I have anything more to say about momentum. Good experience. Would I do it again? Yes. Would I do it the same? No. But hey, how are you gonna know? So I'm not afraid to try things. I'm not afraid to cut my trees down with an axe. I'm not afraid to dig a hole. I'm not afraid to put my opinions up here on YouTube for all to watch, dissect, enjoy, laugh at, scoff at, whatever. I don't care. Oh my gosh. So you need more of that in your business, maybe. Don't be afraid to try a few things, you know. Meanwhile, don't tell anybody dealer told you to do that. Sign here. Release liability. Dealer told me to try things. Okay, so let's talk a minute about global shipping. Global shipping. Well, I don't remember when global shipping was first available. It's been a number of years. When it first came out, as with anything that eBay rolls out, I watch it, I listen to it, I read about it, I absorb some things about it. Typically, I will not jump on the bandwagon right away. Companies put stuff out in beta mode, test mode, and when you're such a big company, so many things at stake, that's just how things are rolled out. eBay rolls things out like that. So I was skeptical. I was shipping things US bound, international, without global shipping before global shipping came out. I looked at it, I was like, this sounds pretty good. There were a lot of things about it that sounded good. And at some point, I put my general merchandise on it. I put our watch channel on it. I put, more recently, my lots of camera stuff on it and had good success. Every once in a while there's a problem. Not anything like shipping overseas without global shipping. People would ask once in a while, do you ship to India? Do you ship to places that global shipping doesn't go? And I had to tell them, no, I do not. Or occasionally, if they had a ton of feedback, I would consider doing it, depending on the day. Well, I had said that I didn't put our camera channel stuff on global shipping because we had a good international business. A lot of it was light, small things. A lot of it was first class items. I wasn't ready to switch it over. I looked at some things a couple times over the last years, and every time I looked at it, I decided not to switch it over. And then, through doing this vlog, the last 60 episodes, having some issues with international shipping, items getting lost, addresses, problems with addresses, damage, da-da-da-da-do-da-da, I finally made the decision to go to global shipping, which, as I mentioned in another video, was a step-by-step process. I believe we're all switched over and it's running well. Now, it took me a couple days to process part of the reason I decided to do it, sometimes my brain tells me to go for it and I don't even know why. But another challenge that we've had in the last year is I've had Banana Peeler do most of the camera stuff shipping. And so he has learned quite a bit about shipping, packing and shipping and packaging and finding things on the shelf and all that, identifying things. And he's done a good job. One of the areas that is tougher to learn, though, is straight international shipping without global shipping. Just regular international shipping, because the address that people give you does not always fit the label. It does not always jive with Endicia, our little label producer machine. For example, certain Asian addresses basically are upside down by US standards, and so you got to mess around. Certain things do not transfer well. We had to cut and paste a phone number into these things. There's just a number of issues that made the international shipping a learned thing that would take a long time to become good at. The other end of it is I was having to deal with lost packages. I was having to deal one-on-one with items not arriving very fast, and so I would have to meter and monitor my messages to people. So if we were going to currently do the international shipping without global shipping, I would have to come up with some more training for Banana Peeler for him to be able to do all of it, or whoever does my packing eventually. If I don't want to do the packing, I'd have to have some written policies and procedures to take care of a lot of these things. I'd also have to train somebody in all this back office stuff to deal with these packages. So it's not that we couldn't do it, I just foresaw the global shipping as a solution in simplifying all that. No more training, very simple training on how to do the global shipping for Banana Peeler or whoever. Very little back office stuff for me. It's a simplification. And so sometimes if you want to move ahead in your business, you need to make some decisions that aren't 100% lined up with the way you want to micromanage or do things, but they're for the greater good. They're for you know, you got to free up your ability to get bigger and be more standardized. So that was a big part of my decision that I didn't come up with before, and finally made the decision. I don't necessarily see a drop in international sales right now. Certainly, I'm hoping for a drop in international problems. So, I also feel this is a possibility that if you do global shipping, I have a feeling you get a little bit of a bump priority in the algorithm, the AI algorithm that sorts your items when they show them to people. I just have a feeling that eBay would put a little bump in there to sell items that go along with their global shipping. Just a hunch. So at this point, I'm pro global shipping. I'm going to be working within global shipping quite often. I will be more involved with it. I will become more of an expert. And unless it changes, I'm going to go with it. It would be harder to go back. It would be harder to go back. So there are other advantages that I've already noticed. There are other disadvantages. For the most part, they're minor. For the most part, it's just changeover. It's not really worth talking about. Okay, so the rest of my week, I've been listing quite steadily, personally, and I've been getting some of these items that we bought this last weekend and a few weekends ago listed. Sales have been good. End of the month is coming. We're going to do some more picking, so I've got to clean up the office and have a place for that stuff to go. School with my kids, homeschool with my kids is just It is really draining me. I personally value the homeschooling, so I don't really want to debate should you homeschool, shouldn't you homeschool. For me, it's a decision that's made. There's just no way I'm not going to homeschool. The tough part for me is I may have some qualities of a good teacher. I also have some limitations of a good teacher, and so my personal struggle has nothing to do with my belief if homeschooling should be done. My personal struggle is time, patience, energy, all those things, right? I mean, I love my kids. I know it's good for them. It still doesn't mean I don't struggle with fitting it in. It really is tough. And so I'm going to take the next couple of days to get caught up, to get ahead a little bit. Next week's a short week. I'm going to shut down my school except for catching up. Every quarter, I'm the one that has to put the final stamps on the paperwork and get all that in for grading. So that's a couple hours that I got to do on that. I just can't keep doing videos right now every day. So probably you won't see me for a little while, but I will come back in October, which isn't too far away. I will come back in October and talk about momentum and that whole contest and that whole experience, and we'll talk about that a little bit. We'll get Wheeler's view on that if I can remember, and that shouldn't be too hard. I will show you some items that we pick up from one of my favorite picks of the entire year, which is the Nebraska Junk Jaunt, and we'll do some other things. And then I'm going to warn you again. I'm going to warn you, I don't know how many videos I've done here since I started up again. It's like, I don't know, 50, 60, 70, whatever. It's all during the momentum. I know many of you like to watch the videos. Many of you say just do them once a week. Many of you say do them every day, every hour. Many of you say live stream 24/7. Some of you say, dealer, I can't wait for you to go away. Whatever your stance is, in October, I'm definitely taking a break. And I'm definitely taking a few weeks off, or more or less. So I'm going to be upfront with everybody on that. If you want to start desensitizing, I guess this break coming up here next week will be part of that. Then I will come on again for a little while and wrap up some things, and then we'll see. And I have to get my schedule back on track. I have to decompress from momentum. I have some things that I have to do that are not vlog, not business oriented. I gotta wrestle some bears. I think Fran Tarkenton, he was a quarterback. I think Fran Tarkenton was on that show in the 80s. Some of you guys will remember. Well, believe it or not, now I don't remember, but he did some show. He's a motivational speaker. He's a serial entrepreneur. But one of his talks, I believe, he was talking about when big problems come up in your life or business, you can't run from them. They're like a bear. You can't run from a bear. You got to turn around and face it at some point and wrestle that thing to the ground. Clawing and screaming. Punch it in the nose. Put your hand down its throat. I don't know if that'll work. Whatever you got to do. But if it's a bear, you got to wrestle it to the ground. And so I have some of those things I've got to do. And I got to get a clear head. So, thanks for watching. Have a nice brief break. Be safe. I'll be back before you know it. I do appreciate the comments, the thumbs up, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. Pick well and list off and dealer out for a little while.
Hey, Wheeler.
Dealer Production.